Hey, how you doing? Guess who? It's me, Billy. Anyway, I just want to make a little tape to give you some ideas, some hints on soloing using patterns, basically based off a pentatonic blues scale. Because a lot of times people ask me, is there any patterns or anything that I can use to help my soloing? And I think these patterns that I've developed myself are pretty useful patterns, and they do a good job of connecting scales throughout the neck, even just connecting the pentatonic scale from one octave to the next, allowing you to use a lot more of the neck. And also, even if you're not using it for that, just giving you more of a vocabulary to choose from when soloing. So anyway, I'll get started and show you some of these patterns, and hopefully and then play a little solo over a blues song to show you how I use them, because using any pattern in a straight form directly how I show it to you is going to sound like a pattern. You want to try and use them in an expressive manner, and which just takes time playing around with them, and you'll see it's not hard. What I'm giving you is the basis to go off of, something to work from, and a good way to show you how to connect the scales so you're using more of your neck. Anyway, without further ado, I'll carry on with it and show you. Everything I want to show you today is based off of, for the sake of this video, is going to be based off of an A minor pentatonic scale, what you would normally call, like what I call a blues scale. We're going to play all of it for the purposes of this tape in the key of A, although these patterns apply to any key, minor pentatonic, anywhere on the neck based on the spacing of the pattern. I'll show you what I mean by that. For instance, in A, that pentatonic A blues, a lot of you probably know, starting on the 5th fret as being 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Okay. The first one I want to show you, the first pattern I want to show you, starts on the 2nd fret. This would be an A still, and it would be what I call a 1, 2, 4 pattern. It's 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, slide a whole step to the 7th fret, and begin the same pattern again. Now being the 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, slide a whole step again up to the 9th fret, and start at the 7th, 8th, and 10th. 7th, 8th, and 10th. Okay, now that's in the A minor pentatonic key. Had it been in another key, you would do the spacing the same. So if I started, obviously I said I started on the 2nd fret, that's 3 half steps down from the 5th. Okay? So if it was in B, for instance, I'd do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. I'd start on the 4th fret and go 1, I'd go 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. For the basis, for the meaning of this tape, just so you understood that these can slide anywhere based on the scale, just on the spacing. So remember that. They'll apply on any key, just follow the spacing. That's the idea of patterns, or at least what I felt was good about the patterns. That once I memorized these patterns, once I knew these patterns, which are very simple, they can apply to any key. And once I discover what key I'm in, then I can go about playing through these patterns. Okay, the second pattern being what I call a 1-3-5 pattern. I'm using, it's a whole space pattern, whole step pattern, whole steps each one. The first one's a half step, whole step. This is whole step both times. Starting on the, once again in A now, but I'm going to start on the 3rd fret, which is G. 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. Slide up a whole step to the 9th fret, then 5th, 7th, ninth, 5th, 7th, 9th. Slide up a whole step. Then I'm going to go 8th, 10th, 12th. 8th, 10th, 12th. Okay? And these go up and down. Here, let me turn up the volume. I'll show you what they sound like. The 1, 2, 4 would be like this. The 1, 3, 5 or whole step pattern would be like this. And you can see how they connect. If I did the first string, just the one string at a time, doing the first pattern, 1, 2, 4, or half step, whole step, and then whole step, you can see how they connect. It's like this. I went to do the slur in there, and the slur doesn't work when I'm connecting the two of them like that, obviously, because I'm moving the pattern anyway. But that's how it would work. Those are all generally, like I said, connected. As you can see when you go through the notes, that I'm using a lot of the notes that are in that A minor pentatonic scale to begin with. Now what I'd like you to do with these is learn to play with them a little bit. Skip around, maybe skip out the middle step, the middle finger. So you'd be doing just a 1-4 pattern on that first one, say 2nd fret to the 5th fret, 2nd fret to the 5th fret, 4th fret to the 7th fret, 4th fret to the 7th fret, stuff like that. So you go like, or the same with the whole step pattern. But that's just playing with it. Playing with it in many different ways. Take those notes. Now that you know where these patterns are, you play these notes in any order that you wish. Any order that sounds musical to you, that allows you to express yourself. One other scale I wanted to show you that I find useful is a diminished type pattern. I started on the A itself, we'll just say, with my 3rd finger, and moved to the 2nd, the 3rd fret and the 6th fret. In this motion, 3rd to 1 and the 4th finger. Okay, so each time I do that, I start the next string a half step up, the next string a half step up. Then this one, start a half step up, but the pattern's different with the fingers. You'd go from the, on the 3rd string, you'd go from the 8th note, 8th fret, to the 2nd string being the 7th and the 10th. Then on the last string, the 2nd string, or the last pattern I should say, you'd start with that 10th fret and go once again with the original pattern of the 1 and the 4, from the 10th to the 8th and 11th. And if you do that nicely, it has a nice sound to it. That's a nice little diminished pattern that can get you those in-between chords in blues and rock. That's a nice pattern to do.